Have you ever watched a rich member get exposed in front of everyone? I worked at a very upscale country club, the kind of place where the carpet was imported, the silverware had its own polishing schedule, and the members believed the world revolved around them. I managed the bar and supervised the service team, so on busy days I was everywhere at once, helping the host stand, checking in on servers, and keeping the whole show from falling apart. Most members were polite enough, but there were a handful who carried their legacy membership, like a badge that excused any behavior. Old money, older attitudes. Our biggest days of the year were the holiday brunches. Easter was easily the most chaotic, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The entire place ran like a practiced performance. Reservations were taken weeks in advance, and every table was plotted out down to the inch. Changing just one party size could shift the entire layout, so we spent days adjusting the seating chart as calls came in. By the morning of the event, everything was locked in, every seat filled, no margin for error. And on this particular Easter, everything had gone perfectly. Not one delay, not one complaint, not one server behind schedule. That alone felt like a miracle. Around noon, I stationed myself at the host desk to help with the final wave of arrivals. As I stood there reviewing the seating map, I heard familiar voices drifting up the stairwell from the lower entrance. It was one of the most notoriously entitled families at the club, a group known for showing up late, demanding exceptions, and treating staff like scenery in their personal show. As they climbed the stairs, I heard the wife ask her husband what time the reservation was for. His answer made me stop dead in my tracks. "We didn't make one," he said confidently. "We'll just tell them we called. They'll figure it out." I didn't move. I just stared at the reservation book for a few seconds, and all I could think was, of course it's them. The group of 8 marched up to the host stand as if they owned the building. Before the host could say a word, the husband announced their last name and said, "Reservation for 8. The host looked at me in panic, so I told her to step away and check on the servers. I turned the book toward me and calmly flipped through it, fully aware of what I would and wouldn't find. No reservation, not even a hint of one. "I don't see anything," I said. "Who did you speak to when you called?" He gave me the kind of look people give when they think they're above being questioned. "The bookkeeper," he snapped. "She took the reservation." That made me laugh internally. The bookkeeper didn't go near the reservation line during holiday brunch week, so I politely told him we had no tables available, except for one possible option, the men's locker room lounge downstairs. Not ideal, but literally the last open space in the entire building. He immediately objected, going on and on about how he called 3 weeks ago. At that point, after hearing him brag about lying just moments earlier, I'd had enough. I calmly told him exactly what I overheard in the stairwell. The shift in his expression was instant. He tried to deny it, but he knew I had quoted him word for word. Instead of admitting anything, he demanded a table anyway, one that did not exist. I told him the chances were zero, not low, zero. He puffed up, turned dramatically, and declared he would have me fired. I told him that might happen, but at least I was being honest. 3 days later, the board of directors requested an executive meeting with me. Oddly, the member himself was sitting in the room when I walked in. They asked me to explain the situation, and I told them everything exactly as it occurred, from the fully booked dining room to the stairwell conversation to the confrontation at the host stand. The board members looked stunned. Their faces said it all. His version of events hadn't matched mine at all. They asked him to step out of the meeting. He left, clearly furious. Once the door closed, the board turned back to me and sighed. They said they understood why I reacted the way I did and knew the situation had been unreasonable, but to avoid further conflict with a longtime member, they felt it would be best for everyone if we ended my employment quietly. I told them I understood, but I wasn't leaving without compensation. After everything, I wasn't about to walk away empty-handed. They agreed and offered me $1,000 to settle things cleanly. A week later, a former coworker called me laughing. Apparently, someone on the board decided to post the member's name on the public shame board, a bulletin normally used for people who neglected to pay their accounts. This time, however, it was used for a different type of dishonesty. The member ended up resigning from the club not long after. Honestly, I wasn't surprised.